Mr. Abdul, thank you for coming to my studio again.
Thank you, Mr. Alex, for allowing me to have the opportunity to speak on your platform. I really appreciate it. It's going to be an amazing conversation, and I'm ready to see what we have in store. Hello, everybody. My name is Abdul Muhammad. I'm the author of Profit for Profit 9 Keys to Gain Success Through Personal Development. In the book, I talk about self development, personal development tips that can improve your life. I talk about topics related to gratitude, having consistency, having a discipline, and how to believe in yourself and have love for yourself. Because if you can have all these things in place, you can truly transform your life. If you want to know where to find the book at, you can find it on Amazon at Profit, Profit, number 4, Profit, Propht, or you can follow it on Barnes and Noble, or you can reach me on Instagram. I am Abdul Malik. One thing that you must remember when it comes to personal developing yourself, never give up on yourself. Understand that you are powerful way beyond measures. You are here to create an impact and create difference in people's life. You're here to create a long lasting impact on the world. So don't play around with the opportunity you have. And I can assure you this book will change your life forever. Do yourself a favor, invest in yourself, and get that book. You won't be led astray. Peace and blessings.
Great, great. And thank you for watching Alex Mason podcast. You see, someone said to me that if you aim for nothing in life, you hit nothing dead on the head. And I like seeing when young black folks are really making a good aim. And this book, Profit for Profit, I read this book and it's been it's been really inspiring. And if you go, I mean, if you log on Amazon and you buy stuff on Amazon, this book is on Amazon. You might want to check it out. And our reason for coming here today is to go, I mean, over the book. And I'm here to ask uh, Mr. Abdul some questions about the book so that you can find a good reason to buy this book on Amazon. And I hope you're ready to answer questions about this book.
I'm ready to go.
Great, great. I like that. I like that. Before I go ahead, I find you really sharp. I find you, look at you dressing all cool. Look at your sharp suit and everything.
I'm trying, brother.
Yeah, I mean, you dress really nice. I really admire you're just a classic gentleman. I really admire
No,
your dress code.
likewise, you too as well, man. You
Thank
gotta
you.
stay sharp.
Oh, right. Thank you. Who are you? Who are you? Like, I know you're Abdul, but can you tell us more about yourself?
Got you. And that's a great question to start. As you guys know, my name's Abdul Malik Muhammad. I'm from Maryland. To be exact, I grew up in an area called Delphi. Grew up with parents from Ghana and Togo. So, grew up with immigrant parents who migrated here for a better living, a better existence, They seen struggle, poverty their whole life. So coming to America was like a lottery ticket for them, for them to make a difference, not only people back home, but just, build a family here. So I'm grateful for having my parents, uh, they have been able to instill a lot of values in me about hard work, discipline, and just being able to persevere through hard times.
Mm.
I have siblings. I have two siblings. I have a younger brother and a younger sister, and I have an older sister.
Okay.
Graduated from Morgan State, studied business, and did finance as well. I worked in accounting, but now I am pursuing my goal and career in, writing books, helping people understand the latent potential within them, understanding that you have something special within you. And that's my whole crusade as well, just letting people understand that as well. Currently working a financial service business in relation to this. So that's pretty much a whole sum of me, but I can definitely delve in deeper, and I definitely will throughout this whole conversation.
Right. Thank you very much. I really like this. I did a video about how men are really decreasing their capacity to absorb and to increase their IQ. And you know, when I come across young men like you who are, aspiring, who are trying to make something out of life, I feel really impressed, and sometimes I doubt myself. Are men really weak? Well, when I meet men like you, but when I look at the ratio, when I look at the statistics, most times it's likely, you know, 3/10, or 7/10. You have 70% weak males, and you have 3% strong males who are trying to create a life. And that is why you probably have 1% accumulating wealth, and you have the rest still struggling. Don't you think so?
That's some very good observation and point of view. I will say that back in the 19th and 20th century, the way that men were bred up
Hmm.
were a lot different compared to now, right? And I also want to say that a lot of the values in the house were instilled differently, right?
Hmm.
A lot of times what we see now is young men growing up without fathers.
Hmm.
You know, we live in a society now that projects instant gratification. Everybody wants microwave success. Everybody wants something overnight, right? So,
Hmm.
we're on Instagram seeing everybody blowing up so fast. So, I, I, I don't, I don't want to say that the males are being weak, but I will say that we need more leaders. Excuse me, we need more figures, examples of strong males, right? We've seen a lot of these males from time to time who came from the 19th or 20th century, and these are good examples. So now it's up to our current generation to stand up and really give that example, right? So it all starts with, with you. If I would tell anybody something like that, it starts with you, right? Um, a lot of times, what I'm seeing is, and in regards to that question you asked, yeah, there's a lot of room for improvement. We got to improve a lot, right? We don't live in the same circumstances as it was in the past. We live in a very easy type of environment, right?
Yeah, can I coach you on that?
Yes, sir.
You see, someone said that my grandfather walked 20 miles,
Mm,
my father walked 10, and
mm.
I'm walking 5.
Wow,
But my son will not walk a mile. But
wow.
guess what? His son is likely going to walk 20 miles, and his grandson is likely going to walk 10,
That's deep right there.
and then his great grandson is likely going to walk 5,
Mm,
and on the circle goes. And what he said is that hard time create strong men.
mm,
Strong men create easy time,
mm,
and easy times create weak men.
mm,
Weak men then create hard time.
mm.
Would you agree with me that we are in such an easy time?
Yeah, I can look. I can get on my phone now and order some food, right?
Right.
I can get on the internet now and look up all the information I need, right?
Hmm.
My grandfather, my dad, they didn't have that opportunity, right? They had
Hmm.
to walk miles to the library just to get knowledge.
Hmm.
They had to do certain things in order to. My dad had to walk about 5 to 10 miles just to go to school. I know my mom had to do that. So that puts a level of discipline in you.
Hmm.
We take a lot of things for granted because
Hmm.
it's being, served at our footstep. Everything around us, we have everything. We're in the world's most richest countries, right? And that right there shows me that We got to go the extra mile. If you want to be successful in anything, you have to go the extra mile. My mentor told me today when we had a training call, hey man, whatever goal I set for you, you can't just meet a minimum. You have to go the extra mile if you want to be a winner and want to be successful. And like what you said, and I agree, it's an easy environment. People don't have to struggle as much. And not to say that you have to struggle to success, which you do, but the notion I'm trying to give is you do have to have hard work and be persistent, but the level of environment now to succeed is very easy because a lot of people run away from hard work. A lot of people run away from being persistent and consistent towards their goals and dreams.
Would you agree with me that this is the easiest time to make $1 million?
I would definitely agree with you. It is the easiest time to make $1 million. We
Yeah.
have kids. We have 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds who are making $1 million. I was just listening. I was on what podcast was this? Either Joe Rogan or this other financial advisor. This kid called like, I'm 16 years old. I had $300,000 that I built up selling products on Shopify and eBay and Amazon. So anything is possible.
There's just two crazy guys. I call them crazy because they look crazy anyway. They call them the Island Boys.
Island Boys, okay.
I don't know what those guys did. I don't know what they did. All of a sudden, these guys are everywhere on social media, and they made a lot of money. I also make money on my YouTube. When people watch once you watch a video on my YouTube,
nice,
and you watch the advert, I make money. Very easy. So I think it is the easiest time of all in the whole of the history of mankind. This is the easiest time to make a good life, like to make an impact, to make money, to have a good bonding with family. This is the easiest time. You can FaceTime your kids, you can FaceTime your wife, you can FaceTime your husband. You see all that? But all that has somehow created, I don't know how it managed to create chaos, but all that has enabled men who are supposed to be productive. It has enabled them to be more lazy. I'll say that. You see, I've worked with a lot of people over the years, and I realize men don't want to work. Most men don't want to work. You think they want to work until you give them the chance. They will throw it away. And that is why when I heard something from Jordan B. Peterson, he said that when we are going through hard time in life, or whatever we're suffering from in life, we owe ourselves a moral obligation to hold on to any rope at all that's thrown at us. You will see a beggar deciding what kind of help you can render to him or not. It's that crazy. You see a beggar, you try to give him the kind of food you have or something, they tell you no. They want money. It's so crazy. I've been in a store. I saw a beggar, a male, and this lady was trying to buy him, buy some food for him. He refused. He said he wants the money. Now the question, I was puzzled why. Because why would you throw away the only opportunity you have right now, which is food? Even if you don't need it at the moment, get it. That's the only opportunity you've got right now.
Yeah.
But in that token, you have a lot of people, they don't have a job, but you try to give them something to do, to make a living. They'll tell you no. But they'll prefer to go and steal. They'll prefer to go rob someone. They'll prefer to go gamble. But they wouldn't want to take that little job that you have tried to introduce or try to hook them with. They will not take it. So that is why I think so many men, are very lazy. You will be so amazed how jobless people are willing to turn down opportunities. Jesus, they are willing to turn down opportunity than those who are even working. You know what? Let's not take too much time talking about this because this is crazy. But here's the thing. I really want us to talk more about your book, and I don't want us to talk about something else because we can keep talking about that on and on. Um, Profit for Profit. I read this book, really nice book, simple. The English, the grammar. I believe it is something anybody of any age can comprehend. Not hard. The English are so very easy to understand. I really like that. It's something a 3 years old baby can start, putting words into. But here's the thing. I have questions based on every chapter you have, each chapter you have on this book.
Okay.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
You have 9 kids, so how millennials can increase in self-development,
Yeah.
how they can succeed in life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was reading and I almost got lost, to be real with you,
Mm-hmm.
but I believe the author of the book can give me some clarification, right?
Yes, sir.
Great. I believe this book is predicated on helping someone out there to increase their self-value,
Yeah.
isn't it? And your first chapter said love. The question is, how can love help someone to increase his value?
Thank you. And that's amazing. Thank you for all the feedback you gave me on the book. Thank you for taking time out to read it and giving me feedback. So the reason why I say love is the first thing that you need to gain your self-worth, because you need to first of all love yourself, right? Love yourself, because when you truly love yourself and you know that you've been created and been manifested by love from whatever you believe in, you then know that you were placed on this earth to provide impact, value, right? If you don't love yourself, you can cut yourself short, sabotage any opportunity, but you need to love yourself or know thyself. The ancient Egyptians say, know thyself, love yourself, because you love yourself, you know that you deserve more, right? You know that you deserve everything that the world has to offer, right? So I believe love is the highest frequency and energy of the universe, right? So with that being said, if we know that love is the highest energy and frequency of the universe, we got to love ourselves. Because if I love myself, I'm going to respect the next person. I'm going to respect my neighbor, right? And that love for myself is going to make me go into this world and do great works, right? Because I believe in myself. But once you have love inside of yourself and you believe in yourself, there's nothing you cannot do in this world. It all starts with love. Because you gotta I can't say you have to love what you do in the beginning, because at times as an entrepreneur, a businessman, not everything you're gonna do you're gonna love, right? You're going to have to learn how to do something that might be time consuming, might be, frivolous to you, it might be tedious, but because you love yourself and you know the big impact and the big image you have for yourself, this is just a process that you got to take in order to go get where you're going.
Right, right. Wow, I like that point. Really nice. Love yourself. Okay. Love yourself, man. You gotta love yourself. It's crazy because I've seen people who receive prescription for their dog and receive prescription for themselves.
Mm.
But they will only adhere and fulfill the prescription for the dog. They will never do that for themselves.
Mm.
That's crazy. Some people are so used to satisfying others, they don't try to satisfy themselves.
And I'm glad you mentioned that point, because that's very true. I think in in that perspective, we see that a lot, right? Because what happens is if you're satisfying others and extending yourself, right? That gives you leeway to forget about your own goals and your dreams, right? But you need to love yourself, take care of yourself, because if you're not good, you can't help nobody else out, right? So it all starts and stems from you. Once you're good, everybody else around you can be good. But if nobody else can be taken care around you or even benefit from your success, if you don't love yourself and work on yourself.
Okay. Well, I like that point. You cannot give what you don't have.
Yep.
It's very simple. If you don't have love within you, you're not well taken care of. There's nothing you can do for any other person.
Exactly.
That is dead and done. Okay, I like that. So, self belief. That's chapter 2. Self belief.
Self-belief, chapter 2. Yep.
Yeah. How is self belief? How can self belief help a young person, and not just a young person? How can self belief, believing in yourself, how can it help you to develop yourself as a millennium? Or
Okay. That's a great question. So the way that self-beliefs help you develop yourself is, I'm going to give a good example, right? I remember coming up as a kid, and I would see people say, I want to do a certain thing. But then I'll see people around them said, hey, you can't do it. Then that person will start to believe the opinions of others, and then that will then detour them, distract them for the mission that they had in mind. So if you didn't grow up having self-belief, your parents telling you that you can do anything, telling you that you are a genius, right? You
Mhm.
might lack self-belief. So you might not even see yourself in the light that you need to see yourself to accomplish your goal. Because self-belief is very important. I'll give you a good example. The Kanye West documentary came out on Netflix, right?
Mhm.
He was first a successful producer. When he said he wanted to be a rapper, everybody put him to the side. Can't do it. Nah. But he had self-belief. He kept on going. He went in the record label. He tried to perform to them. They're not trying to hear it. But guess what? That man had self-belief, confidence within himself. Although it stemmed from his self, his mother also had self-belief in him, which he developed, right?
Mhm.
Now he's worth over $1 billion, right? He has a successful Yeezy brand, successful music career. But that
Mhm.
self belief right there can take you far. If you don't have self belief, you don't believe in yourself, you can fall victim to anybody's opinion of you.
Mhm.
I remember I'm currently working, I work as an accountant and I'm transitioning to the financial service industry. I remember a couple of people when I talked to them about it, show them what I do, try to discourage me. But if I didn't have self belief in myself, I would give up. So I
Mhm.
want you guys to remember, never give up. Believe in yourself. There's somebody out there that needs what you're doing, the words you're saying, the impact you're giving, and you can never, never forget that. Believe in yourself because it will take you far.
Okay. So now, taking this out of context, but it's really inclusive. How about a stupid person believing in himself?
When
And
you
when you say stupid, when I say stupid, I know you're about to ask me what I mean by stupid. Someone with a very stupid idea. Some people have a really stupid idea.
okay.
Someone who was about to go into a mall and shoot everyone. I believe in myself, man. I can shoot everybody. Hey, man, I don't know what to say about that kind of belief, but that's crazy belief,
Right.
isn't it?
So, profit for profit, and my whole ideology is always to move towards righteousness and positivity, right?
Okay.
So, when I say self belief, yes, we can do anything we want to do, right? But how is it going to positively impact the world at large, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we say self belief, we are talking about how can we make a greater difference, a greater good for society. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that act right there, of course, you have self belief, but how many people's life are you going to, you'll be a detriment to, right? How many people's life are you truly going to help? You
Mm-hmm.
know? So when we're coming to think about self belief, yeah, we're gonna have self belief about ideas and ideologies and goals and dreams that's gonna take us to places that we've never been before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I always want you guys to keep that in mind. Self belief in yourself and whatever thing you want to do that's positive, that's influencing society at large in a positive manner, right?
Okay. But this is a warning. If you have a self belief that you're going to come blow up my studio, it's not going to work.
It's not gonna work.
I discourage you on that. It's not going to work. I have detectors, bomb detectors everywhere. Once you
Exactly.
come close, I will know. Don't believe in yourself in that. It's not going to work. I repeat, it's not going to work. All right? All right, self-belief. All right, so talking about confidence.
Mm.
You see, someone said that if you stand for nothing in life, you will fall for anything. From, do you think that's confidence when you stand for something in life? What I mean is, okay, what is confidence to you? All right, what's confidence to you?
That's a good question. I'm glad we're talking about this, right? Confidence is from my point of view, right, the ability to perform a task at a high level, right? That means that you have much time, experience, and practice on one specific subject or task, right?
Mhm.
Of course, somebody can be confident about maybe giving a speech, right?
Mhm.
But he's not that much of a good public speaker, right? But yeah, confidence in it, right? But that doesn't mean he's gonna perform to the best of his ability, right?
Mhm.
Confidence is something that exudes inside of you. You know,
Mhm.
that man is confident when he walks. He owns it. He owns himself. He owns every aspect of himself, right? But being confident to me truly means that someone who's when you gain confidence in something, you've truly developed and master your craft. You've done it. It's a book called The Outlier, and it talks about in order to truly become a master of something or an expert at something, you need to put at least 10,000 hours into
Mhm.
that skill, right? So if you have 10,000 hours into a skill, of course you're gonna exude confidence when you're speaking up there. Of course you're gonna exude confidence when you're, let's say, you're realtor. Of
Mhm.
course, you're going to exude confidence in anything because you have so much time developed in that skill, right?
Mhm. So, what is the difference between confidence and charisma?
That's great. I think charisma is a characteristic,
Okay.
meaning that somebody is charismatic. They have a personality type of a charismatic person, right? That means they're charming. They have the ability to make people feel good. They're very charismatic, right? Like maybe an actor, right? A successful actor, very charismatic, right? But confidence to me means the ability not only to know yourself and whatever task you're doing. If you're confident in this, that means you've done it so many times, so you have that level of skill built up because you've done it so many times, right? But charisma is a personality type. Confidence comes from the ability of doing something repetitively so much time that when you do it, it's with ease. It doesn't feel like you're even trying. You're confident about it.
So, how do you differentiate someone who's confident and someone who has charisma?
Got you. So someone who has charisma, someone who is, has that personality type, very charismatic, you know, very the ability to move the room and be able to be flexible to people who's working with this charismatic, good energy, in character, not dull or someone who's very dull in their speaking or monotone, right? Someone who
Mhm.
can flow, have conversation, and just be in the mode. Very charismatic, people's person, right?
Mhm.
But someone who's confident, they have to be confident in a certain task or skill, right? To say,
Mhm.
hey, he's confident in that. Or he has confidence. Or when someone speaks, you say he has confidence. He's probably done this so many times speaking in front of people that he's confident in it, right?
Mhm.
But that's my point of view. Charisma, personality type, confidence is all based upon what we're observing the confidence is in.
So, do you think that someone who is charismatic can literally know how to do it?
You can be charismatic, but that could all be a facade in the skill set, right? You could be charismatic in the way you talk, right? But if we're talking in regards to a skill and
Mhm.
being confident in that, the level of hours and time you put into developing that skill will tell if you're confident or not.
Okay, so there's a portion in the scripture that said that the swift do not always win the race.
Mm.
Do you think a confident person, do you think someone with charisma can get ahead faster than someone that is confident? For example, if you are trying to hire two people, you have two people in front of you. One person is charismatic and one person is confident. Who do you think is going to get your attention first?
The charismatic person is going to get the attention first because, just from my point of view, they're in character. They might be exuding a level of charisma. They have energy. They're moving the crowd. You're able to connect. When you say confident, you might be confident in your skill set, but the way you deliver your confidence might not be in a charismatic. It might not be charismatic, right? You may know your skill set, but the way you're speaking and delivering it might not be charismatic. So having both of them will be amazing, right? Having charisma and confidence, those two packaged together will be great.
Okay. So what will you say to someone who is really good at their craft? What would you tell them about charisma? Do you think it is very important for that person to also learn how to present what he's proficient at?
Yes, I think it's very important. There's a lot of successful people out here who are very confident and they have a very good skill set, but people just don't know them, right? So it all boils down to how many people you can impact and how many people can you interact with, right? But then you need to have a good delivery, right? They always talk about having an elevator pitch, right? Let's say you're on the elevator with Warren Buffett or Elon Musk and you have an idea. You might be confident you speak, but you got 30 seconds to grab his attention. So you need to be charismatic as too. You need to be able to have that ability to capture his mind because he has a lot of stuff going on in his mind, right? So within those 30 seconds, you're going to be confident, but you got to be charismatic. The delivery has to be on point. You got an opportunity of a lifetime. So I will tell people, if you're confident and you have a good skill set, work on developing and that charisma in you, developing the ability to deliver and present what you are offering, service, product, or whatever to the world at a high level, because that's very important, very, very important. I'm glad you asked that question. It gave me a good overview on what to look.
Some people don't like hearing counsel. They like warning. So let me put what you just said. Let me rephrase it in a warning. If you are having a skill, get a damn lesson or learn how to communicate. Let me take off my glasses. Someone might need me of my glasses. If you are in a job, you need a damn skill of communication. In communication, you need to know how to communicate. You need to have a persona and a charisma that can give you a way or a chance to manifest your skill. I'll say it one more time. Someone probably missed what I said. Whatever you are trying to do in life, if you don't know how to communicate, you're done. You're done. You can be as confident, skillful, and good at your craft. If you don't know how to communicate, you're done. Well, if you got that message from me, use it. If you don't, you might need to contact him for further instructions.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, Alex, because social dynamics and communication is very important. The moment you speak out of your mouth, people are judging you and people are observing you. So what Alex just said, communication is key. So with that being said, make sure that your communication is at the top-notch level, because people are judging you the moment you utter words out your mouth. It's very important. It's very important. You can get a lot of opportunities from just opening your mouth. You can lose a lot of opportunities from opening your mouth. So make sure that your communication is tip notch, so you are able to have all the opportunities that you want.
Oh, thank you very much for suiting and easing my mode of communication, because right now I'm really mad at some people. They don't know how to speak, they don't know how to communicate, they don't know how to express themselves, they don't even know how to smile the right way, they don't know how to give a warm handshake, and they want to go far. Man, you are joking, man. You're joking. Let's move on. Learn. Now, in the learn, I see you put a bracket or earn in it. Earn, like earn money. So tell me more about the learn, chapter 4. How can someone learn, and how can learning improve or contribute to self-development?
That's a great question, a phenomenal question, and this is exciting because I have an action-packed story to tell you guys. So as you guys know, the more you learn, the more you earn. Look at the top CEOs in this country. The top CEOs in this country, United States of America, read on average in a year about 56 books. The average person in a year reads probably 2, maybe 3, or even less than that. So that shows you already, the more you learn, the more you earn. Because it's not about the physical money that you're getting. Where it stems from is from the brain. If you want this, it all starts up here. You got to materialize it. So you have to develop that mindset. You have to develop that knowledge base, right? And apply it in the material world in order to get the benefits, right? So when I say the more you learn, the more you earn, and I put it in quotation, because I want people to know that on a daily basis, we got to be learning. No, we don't have to. I don't even say we got to be learning, because when you say got to be learning, that's the negative connotation. You get a chance to learn every day you wake up. So why not learn? Why not pick up a book and learn something new? Why not pick up a podcast that can transform your mind? I think in the scriptures it says the renewal of the mind, something of that nature, right? The renewal of the mind, right?
So be not conformed by the standard of this world, but be conformed by the renewing of your mind.
Exactly. And every single day we got to renew our mind. So the more you learn, the more you earn. And one thing I put in there, the book is called Profit for Profit, right? People, it's like, a lot of people were telling me, like, why do you put profit first, right? Profit for profit. And I told them, because at the end of the day, we're profiting for a profit. And what it is that when we profit, our profit profits, because at the end of the day, the more we learn, the more we earn, right? And if we can earn, we can make a difference in everybody's life, right? My mentor says, look in the impoverished communities or every violence-stricken community. Where does it stem with? Poverty. People who are impoverished, right, tend to go towards violence. You know, they tend to, be involved in certain activities that's not good for them, right? So when you can elevate your mind and start learning and understand that there's a bigger world out there than what circumstance you're in, right? And you renew your mind, you start to know that life is limitless. You can do anything you put your mind to, right?
Okay.
So I made that quotation to let people know, the more you learn, the more you earn. It rhymes, but it's truly real. Mark Cuban, billionaire. I was watching a podcast. He said, even till today, as a billionaire, he's still reading books, still buying courses. You would think someone who's a billionaire say, hey, I'm okay, I'm good, I don't need to do nothing anymore, I'm a billionaire. But no, he's constantly learning information to improve his knowledge, improve his game, and get cutting edge information in order to be a high performing individual.
Great. Wow, that's a lot. You got to learn so you can earn. That's cool. Chapter 5 in your book, in the Perfect of Profit, chapter 5 says, act of manifesting. Art of manifesting, like, okay, say art of manifesting. Now, when you say art, like, do you mean like sketching art?
We can say that.
Okay, so when you say art of manifesting, what do you mean by that?
So as we know, the word manifest means to bring into existence.
Mm-hmm.
So in that chapter, when I talk about art of manifesting, I go through my theory and my ideologies on how to manifest, which is an art.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys haven't looked at this book or the movie called The Secret, I would truly recommend you guys to do it. Phenomenal, phenomenal book, phenomenal movie. I think you can find it on Netflix or YouTube. Manifesting is key in your life because before you can see it in physical, you have to manifest from the mental and the spiritual in order to see it. Before I could write that book, I had to see it in my head. I had to visualize it come out. And then I manifested it in a physical form. Everything that we see all around us has been manifested in mankind's mind. So when I talk about the art of manifesting, just letting people know that manifestation is an art. It's truly an art. Because we may see things here in life like, oh, it just happened. No, it didn't just happen. It was an art. Somebody sat down and thought, we're tired of just walking barefoot. Let's create some shoes. Started in the mind. We're tired of just taking drives. We need to get places faster. The Wright brothers. Let's create an airplane. So in that chapter, The Art of Manifesting, I go through theories and I go through ways on how you can manifest, right? I give a good example right here. And it's funny because the example relates to me. In the book, I talk about how if you want to manifest a BMW, start wearing BMW clothing.
Mm-hmm.
I did that and I had a BMW for like 2 years.
Mm.
And I didn't realize I was doing the art of manifestation until I read the book again. I'm like, wow, I'm driving a BMW, right? So it happened my uncle had the BMW and I was able to get off it. But I didn't think about it. And I was like, wow. So like if you really want to manifest things, you got to start putting stuff on your vision board, right? Start seeing what you truly want, right? Maybe you want a place in Africa, you want a place in Dubai. You want to start putting symbols, right? Imagery around you, because in order to manifest, I talk about in this book, and I'm going to go a little deep. It starts with your subconscious mind. And how's your subconscious mind being programmed? It's being programmed through repetition. It's being programmed through image. It's also being programmed through repetition, image. And it's another one I forgot. It's in the book, but it's programmed through repetition, imagery, and pictures and symbols. Yep, pictures and symbols, right? So we want to put these things around us. This is an art to manifesting. It's everybody we see that's successful, they manifested themselves there, right? Jim Carrey talks about having a check that he put, I believe, of $10 million for acting services. He put the date on it. Saw it, looked at it every single day. That's the art of manifesting right there. He's programming his subconscious mind to believe something to be real, right? See, our mind doesn't know no difference between right or wrong or what's true or valid, right? So we can literally trick our mind, not trick it, but tell our mind anything and it will believe it, right? So that's why I talk about the art of manifesting. I think that's very, very, very important for anybody coming up, because a lot of times through the systems we've been brought up in, they take away of our power to manifest. So I just want to put that power back in people so they can understand that there's an art to manifesting and you are a manifester. We're master manifestors. I could think about somebody right now and they can give me a call. And that happens to all of us time after time. And you're like, wow, the power of the mind is no joke. The power of the mind is no joke. I remember Drake saying that on one of his verses. He said, the power of the mind is no joke. I said I was going to do it and I did. And I remember that line. I'm like, That's it right there. That's it right there. The power of the mind is no joke. I said I was gonna do it and I did. And our words hold a lot of value too, right? We can speak life and death with the tongue. That's a form of manifesting as well.
Right. Thoughts. I just believe that what we've been talking about today is all being encompassed in one word, in thoughts.
Hmm.
Tell me, chapter 6 of your book talk about thoughts. How has thought played a big role or beaten a big share of the process of one or any individual contributing or participating in his self-development?
I think that's the key thing. Like you said, that's the key thing. Everything boils around thought. Your thoughts create your reality, right? We become what we think about on a consistent basis. On a constantly consistent basis, we become our dominant thoughts, right? So with that being said, our thoughts are like energy. They're like frequencies, right? Whatever we think constantly, they manifest into our reality. So with that being said, so since we know that now our thoughts are powerful, right? That right there allows me to put in a book and let everybody know your thoughts, they're things, they're truly things that want to exist. Everything we see around us, from the suit, from this rubber bracelet, the shoes, that pen, was once a thought in somebody's mind, right? And they say, if you can control your thoughts, you can control your reality. Thoughts hold value because, like I'm going back to what I said, you think about somebody, they give you a call. So right there, that shows you the universe, whatever you believe in, that it's a frequency, it's an energy you're on, right? And it's so happenly, right? Somebody may ask, I might sometimes think about negative thoughts, right? But you know what? I'm so happy and grateful for this mighty world we live in, this universe, whatever you want to call it. It only picks up on what you think about constantly. So by that being said, make sure when you're thinking about things you want to happen. You want to go into things with an expectation of something, right? Of happening, a result, and a positive result at that, right? Nobody wishes anything negative on themselves, right? And I'm so happy and grateful that law right there. It only focus on what you constantly think about on a consistent basis. And it's very important as us successful entrepreneurs, business owners, master manifestors, everybody of all walks of life, hone our thoughts, focus, and make sure our thoughts and what we're thinking about is truly what we want to manifest in our reality.
Great. Wonderful. Wow, I like that. The law of discipline. Let me chip in something before I ask you this question. I personally believe that you can be all motivated the way you want. You can have all the opportunities that you can ever dream about. But if you don't have a discipline, you're done. And I believe that is one big thing a lot of people are lacking today. Discipline. Most people, I believe, don't have the mental tenacity to say what they want and stick by it. But now I am curious. How has this, or what does this have to do with self-development? How is discipline part or parcel of millennials contributing or participating in their own self-development? How?
Thank you for that overview and just your background on discipline. I'm going to touch on that. I think I agree 100% what you said. You can be all motivating, fired up, ready to go, but when that's all over, you need discipline to carry you through. Motivation is not all that's gonna push you through, right? Um, David Goggins, he's a Navy SEALs motivational speaker, and he's an extreme athlete, right? He said, when I wake up 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning, I may not want to, right? But because I have discipline and I know where I want to go, I have to wake up. So going back to what you said, discipline is the key to success. Because there's days you may want to throw the towel in. You may not want to do a certain task. You may not want to, present or give any feedback to your team that you're working with. But if you have discipline, you know that rain, sun, sleet, snow, whatever it is, I'm going to be out there making it happen, right? So I do think in this current society, even myself included, I have stuff to work on in regards to discipline. Because even after you said something, right, now you have to follow. You have to follow with your words and follow through with action, right? And that's where discipline comes into play. Like me, I like to work out. I like to be consistent with my working out, regardless whatever I do. I want to be active, right? Because I know the health benefits of it, and it makes me feel good because it produces dopamine out of my body. But you have to be disciplined to do that. Many people don't want to go to the gym, right? Or they might go for a week and say, I'm good, right? But the disciplined person knows, even though it hurts, I feel pain, I'm going back every other single day because I know my goal. I'm disciplined. I'm following a set task, a set regimen to get to where I want to go. So I think everybody can use discipline in their life because it's going to allow you to get far. A disciplined man, a disciplined woman will do a lot of great things because they know that it's not just, oh, I feel good today, I'm going to do it. Whether I feel good or I don't feel good, I have to get it done. And that's where discipline comes into play because it allows you to know that, hey, you got to get it done. A good example, someone in school studying to be a doctor or a lawyer, having to stay up late to finish their tasks, to take their exams. The only way they can do it is through discipline, because motivation only be, that can only last you but so long. But discipline, knowing what you have to do even after you said you've done it, allows you to have the extra step in life and allow you to separate yourself from everybody else.
Okay, but quick question. How can someone who for once in their life have never been responsible in just maintaining one thing in their life, or have never been disciplined, how can such person start developing the act of discipline? In manageable segment, how can one start developing the act of, if I say I'm going to do this, I'll do it anyway? How can one start developing that tenacity to keep doing it even if they don't feel like doing it?
That's a great question. So in order to develop discipline, if you haven't already developed discipline, right, you need to start when the amounts are small. And my favorite self-development speaker, Jim Rohn, talks about this. Okay. You need to start when the amounts are small. You need to start when the responsibilities are small. So if that's taking the trash every day out, start with that. Start with the little things first, because the little things are going to develop to the big things. But it's all how you do the little things. Every single day, we're disciplined to brush our teeth and take a shower, right? We start with the little things. So if we can incorporate those things into our life, we're going to start with the little things. Start by saving every day, maybe $5, $10 a day save. That's going to trickle down to your whole life. But if you can do this consistently, it doesn't have to be the big disciplines. But if you start with the small disciplines, start with the amounts of few, be faithful when the amounts are few, you will see that level of discipline that you're doing with just little that you have will trickle down when you get more, right? A lot of people say, hey, I want $1 million. I want $500,000. But the reason why you're not able to get it yet because you're not able to be disciplined with the few that you have yet. You got to be disciplined with what little you have, right? And like you said, right? How about someone has never truly been disciplined? I would tell them, start now. Start with whatever task is at hand that you know you have to do on a consistent basis. Whether you feel or you feel you want to do it, you don't feel you want to do it, just know I'm going to be disciplined to do this. Me personally, I used to wrestle. I used to wrestle back in high school. I was the team captain my senior year. I didn't want to come to practice every day. I didn't want to have to run 2 miles every day. But I had to if I wanted to wrestle and be on the team and, you know, go to my meets and my match, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whether you feel like you don't want to do it or you do want to do it, that doesn't matter. You set a goal in mind, right? But you get it done. Example, a book. Somebody might want to write a book, but they keep on stopping in between. But just remember, you got to be disciplined because you set a goal in mind to write a book that can not only inspire somebody, but take you far, but make a truly impact on the world. And I think that's priceless. It's truly priceless. Exactly what we're doing right here. You started a podcast that is priceless because you don't know who is going to listen to this and be affected in a major way and might create something magnificent just from one conversation that me and you have. Discipline is the key in everything. If you don't have discipline, pretty much going to fail because you're just going to do things when you feel the need to do it instead of not knowing that I'm going to do it regardless if I feel to do it or not because I know this is my goal and these are the steps in place to get it done.
Powerful. Wow. Number 8, in your book, you wrote this book, right?
Yes, sir.
Profit for Profit. Chapter 8 says gratitude and patience. And I'm still wondering how. But I know you know how and why. So how has gratitude and patience? And what has it got to do with self-development?
Yes. I'm glad you asked that question. And a lot of people ask as well. What I tell them first is gratitude is a must. You have to be grateful for where you're at right now in order to develop into who you want to be, right? Because you need to understand that it takes time to get to where you want to be, right? But be grateful with the few that you have. Be grateful for the little that you have, right? Because what happens is when we're ungrateful and we say, hey, I see that person over there doing that. I see that person over there doing that, looking outside and not being grateful for the little that we have, the universe is not going to bless you with more. Because you have to be grateful for what you have right now. And notice that with what you have right now, it's a lot. Be grateful for everything you have right now. Because that's going to help you develop a grateful spirit. And when you develop that gratitude and that grateful spirit, that's going to allow you to be consistent towards your goals and dreams. You're grateful for this. I'm grateful for the clothes on my back. I'm grateful for the shoes on my legs, right? I'm grateful for everything, the food I'm able to eat, the clean water. Some people around the world don't even have that. So that's why every morning I wake up, I say thank you. Thank you should be the first words anybody utters out their mouth. Thank you for being in existence. So you have another shot to move your life forward. Gratitude is a must for personal development. You got to be in a grateful spirit. In order to receive more, you got to be grateful. Why should you be blessed if you're not even grateful for where you truly are at this exact moment, right?
But don't you think that being grateful is some sort of self-hypnosis that sometimes might distract you from the need of putting more energy into your work?
I'm glad you said that. It can be, because being grateful is just the start. Be grateful, but not content. You got to understand that. Yes, I'm grateful for where I'm at. Where I'm at may be somebody's best day or somebody's best situation, but I'm aspiring to go further. So yes, I'm grateful for here, but I'm not satisfied and comfortable. I'm gonna keep on working. I'm gonna keep on aspiring, you know, because it's a saying that in order to overachieve, you gotta underachieve under the greats, right? And that's what Rick Ross said. He just said that. He said to overachieve, you're going to overachieve under the average and underachieve under the greats, right? So that means there's always a constant improvement for growth, regardless if you're grateful or not. Like I said before, Mark Cuban is a billionaire. He could be grateful in his position, but he's constantly still improving. He's still improving. He's a billionaire, but he's still improving. I know he's probably grateful for that, right? Doing philanthropy work, building businesses. But you can't be comfortable just because I'm grateful for where I'm at, right? That's good. But you got to aspire, because life is a constant, continuous growth of evolution. You can't stay stagnant. Yes, I'm grateful for where I'm at, but I know I'm not going to be here a year from now. If I'm here a year from now, then I'm stale. I'm in stalemate. I haven't moved. But life is a movement. It's growth, evolution. So I'm glad you said that, because someone might think, yeah, I'm grateful where I'm at. I feel good. Okay, you feel good, but you know you can aspire for more. This is not just the end point of your life.
So, how can you explain this word? Until the pain of staying the same is greater than change, you will never change. How can you explain that word? Until the pain of staying the same is greater than change, you will never change.
I'm gonna just say it like this. You gotta be sick and tired of being sick and tired.
So if you're sick and tired, can you be sick and tired at the same time be grateful?
So I would say no, because when I say sick and tired, being sick and tired means that you want to change and go to your other position. You want to go into the next level.
And with such a hurry, do you think one can be grateful for where he's at if he really has to move to the next level?
Got you. So when I say grateful, that means you have to have the ability to just notice that wherever position you're at, yeah, it might be bad, but the perspective is somebody is probably praying for the position you're in, right? Because we always looking at it in perspective. However, for the overachievers, they know that they got to move with you have to move with a sense of urgency, right? And you have to focus on where you want to go, right? So be grateful, but like you said, you got to move to where you want to go. And then in regards to patience, as you're working and you're going through the process, whatever you envision may not come when you plan it, but it will come if you're consistent, right? And you keep on going towards it, right? So I put patience in there because it takes time to sometimes manifest the goals and dreams that we want to put into this world.
Right. And just to corroborate that, there's something T.D. Jakes, I respect him a lot, and he said that a blessing given too soon is a curse. A blessing given, you can give your son your best car, your new car, really early, and then it go crash.
Exactly.
But if you can wait for your son to grow up, and then you give him that car, it's going to last long, and that'll be a blessing. So I also understand when you say patient, I also understand what you mean by that. Thank you very much for that.
No problem.
Do you have anything to say about patience? Anything else?
Be patient,
Okay.
but keep on working. When I say be patient, it's not just like you're sitting around waiting for things to happen to you, given to you. It means that while you're working consistently, be patient that whatever you are working towards is going to come. But don't sit around. It's not, the theory And the topic is not being patient, just sitting around waiting for things to come for you. Because that's not how the world works. You got to move. You got to make things happen. You got to have some momentum, some action to get to where you want to go. But be patient. While you put in that work, the sweat equity, something great will come out of it.
Yeah, right. Thank you so much for that. You see, I read the law of gratitude. I mean, your chapter 8, gratitude and patience.
Yeah.
And there's something I realized that you are also trying to bring up from the book. And when we talk about gratitude, I'm comparing with, I mean, fusing it into what I also know as gratitude. For me, I think it's being able to understand or track your growth.
Beautiful.
Being able to track your growth, being able to know where you were, like it's really you versus you, being able for you to interpret or analyze where you've been, where you were yesterday, and see where you are today, and also be able to project where you can be tomorrow.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's also what I see as gratitude. Being grateful for me is being able to understand how far you're going, where you can literally be in the next few couple of months, couple of days, based on the amount of effort you are imputing. And if you see that you are not imputing the right idea, then put some more idea, put some more energy, put in some more tracks. It's more like put more wind in your sail. That is what I think being grateful is. Being able to sit down and be truthful with yourself and stop lying to yourself and be truthful with yourself. And if you are not doing things right, be grateful and look at where you are and be truthful with yourself that you're not doing enough. You need to put in some more effort.
Yeah, turn it up a notch.
Yeah, right. So that is also what I understand by being grateful is just being real about where you are. If you're doing good, pat yourself and say, yeah, I did great, man. If I can do twice as this next time, I'll be further ahead of this. Just being factual with yourself and being able to see your progress, congratulate yourself, and just keep being more thirsty for doing what you are doing and just increasing, your acceleration in whatever you're doing.
Follow one course until successful.
Oh yeah, right. So tell me, why do you say that?
So it's actually funny. My mentor Sadiq Ali, he also inspired me, as well as my uncle, who wrote the Cayman Protocol. Sadiq wrote The Millionaire Manners. Sadiq, we just had an event, probably it was a couple of years ago. We're leaving out. I was helping him take some stuff out. And he had a buddy, I think one of his good buddies, and him said, you got to focus. Follow one course until successful. And it stuck with me. And I'm like, wow. Then he elaborated. He said, man, you need to have tunnel vision, right? In anything you want to do, you have to have that vision where it's just laser focus, right? Because if you're a sniper, you got one target. And that's it. You don't got no other target but one. So if you got 4 or 5 targets, right? And don't get me wrong, we all fall victim to this. I'll fall victim to it. We might want to be doing a million things at once, but how much energy and time can you put into so many things? You won't be able to develop that skill, develop that level of tenacity to do it for a long period of time. So when I say focus, follow one course to success, I just want people to just tunnel vision into what they got going on. Like literally follow that course until successful. When I graduated college, I had to follow that course until I was successful. When I decided I wanted to join a fraternity, I had to follow that one course until successful. If I decided I wanted to write that book, I had to see it through. So that's what focus is all about, right? You need to have that ability to laser focus in, right? I was listening to Dan Pena. He's a coach and he develops a lot of billionaires. And he said one of the traits of billionaires is they have extreme focus in what they do. Like I'm talking OCD, right? And it makes sense, right? If we can look at Elon Musk, one of the world's most richest men, if not, I think he's the richest man today, right? Elon Musk. he the money that he got from PayPal, he took that money, put it into Tesla, put it into SpaceX, all of it. Slept in his he slept in his unit, right? His business location. That shows you that's someone right there who just solely focused. He betted on himself. He had that keen sense of focus to go after what he wants, regardless of his living condition, right? But look at him now, right? So in order to be successful and develop yourself to the highest level, you gotta have focus in whatever you're doing. Because without focus, it's easy to drift. It's easy to drift through life.
Wow.
Yeah, go
That's
ahead.
cool. That's cool. I really like that. So you have a bonus lesson here, but I don't want you to mention it. Whoever feel like they want to get a bonus lesson have to go buy the book. How about that?
Now, it sounds good, you know.
So tell me, please, can you tell our audience right now why they need to buy the book? I mean, someone literally can just sit out there now and believe he's so smart that all he has to do is watch this podcast and he has automatically read the book. Why? This book has to be read. Why listening to this podcast is not enough to assume that he has gotten all the content in the book. Can you tell that person, please?
Yep, I can definitely tell you. First of all, I want to go back to the point when I said about Mark Cuban. He's worth $1 billion, right? I don't know the exact amount, but he says on a consistent basis, he's buying courses, he's reading, he's learning. So that would tell you that even if you reach your level, your pinnacle of success as a billionaire, millionaire, whatever success is, sometimes success is not monetary success, but whatever you're successful in, you need to constantly be developing yourself, reading. I said on average, CEOs read about 56 books a year. And this book right here is so simple to read. A 3-year-old can read it, right? Start picking up words and read it,
Okay,
right?
can I cut you on this?
Yeah.
Can you just tell somebody now, the person's running out of patience, why watching this podcast is not enough? Why he has to read this book?
Got you. So, point blank, the reason why you have to read this book, because you can listen to all what we're saying, but unless you pick up that book and you read verbatim, word for word, you won't be transformed. One of the reasons why I wrote this book, because in 2017, I went to the WWDC conference and I seen two things that inspired me. I seen a 9-year-old who knew how to do computer programming, and I seen a lady in her late 60s who was doing computer programming. And guess what that told me? Anything is possible. And that's where I stemmed the book from. I was around a lot of innovators, web developers, and successful individuals to create that book. So even just listening to this podcast, you're just getting a gist of it. I encourage you and everybody, go pick up that book if you want to transform your life, develop to the highest level. It's been approved by some successful thought leaders in the country. And this podcast alone is great, but read that book and invest in yourself. Because if you don't invest in yourself, who's going to invest in you? Now pick up that book and invest in yourself. Profit for Profit, 9 Keys. Millennials can gain success through personal development.
Okay, thank you. Now, for those who don't understand long English, let me put it this way. What we discussed today, we'll discuss 30% of what's in this book. Now, if you want to get all the informations or you want to get details of what we have discussed today, you have to go get this book, Profit for Profit, on Amazon. On Amazon, the link will be posted below on this video. Get the book and read it. All right. You know, there's this part that I read in the scripture that said that after the Apostle Paul, spoke with the congregation, when he left, the congregation had to do their own study to find out if all he said was true.
Right.
So now, only dumb people hear people and don't make their findings. So if you are not dumb, what you should do is find out if what this man has said is true. And one way you can do that is buy the book, read the book, and compare your facts and what you know and see what you really think. And then you can come to your conclusion, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Just like that. you know, but there's something I can guarantee anyone who reads this book. It is very easy to understand, and your money will, how can I put it? It's worth the money. It's worth the price. And I also believe this is a young black man who decided to sit down and write a book. And I believe if he can sit down and write a book, you can also sit down and read the book. And apart from that, do you have anything to say? Do you have any favorite words you like? Before you say that, I want to say this. I have this favorite word that my mentor Les Brown you normally say. He said, "Stony road we trod, bitter the chasing rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died in us. Yet with a steady beat, have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed, come to the place for which our parents sighed. We are the children of those who would not die. We are delivered, propelled, and enhanced through the blood of those who were slaughtered on our behalf." And he said, you know what? We didn't get here by chance. Some people paid the price. Some people did the work. And that is why we are truly free today. Do you have any words like that that really, when you say it, it purges your soul?
I do. Thank you for giving that speech from Les Brown. You know, a lot of the brands we buy, from Louis, Levi, Gucci, all the brands, that's someone's last name right there. We buying someone's last name, right? So I want you guys today to remember this. How are you guys going to be remembered? What legacy are you going to leave for your family? How will they remember your last name, right? You just said somebody was free. So the only reason why we are free is because of the work that people did before us, right? So how are we going to leave this world a better place and keep that freedom going, right? We got to keep on fighting for what we want, right? We can't give up now that we're like maybe a comfortable position. We don't have to endure the type of level of stress and pain that our ancestors endured, but that doesn't matter. It's still a fight. And we need to aspire to be great, aspire to leave a legacy that the ones coming after us will remember for eons of eons in time. And this is what we're here to do, right? If Martin Luther King got locked up and said, hey, I don't want to do no march, and never did that march on Washington, you would never heard him. If Rosa Parks never sat down on the bus and said, I'm not getting up, you would have never heard her. If all these greats, when they was faced with adversity, just fell to adversity, we would never hear them. So we need to make sure that we pave the way and we pay back our ancestors for what they did now. Going back to what I was saying about those brand names that we buy, how will you be remembered? Grind for your last name. Make a difference in this life, because we want to make a difference in something we came into. Make it better. That's what my mom always told me. Make everything you come into better. And that's what I have to say.